It's quite interesting that different regions in South Africa we paint at different times when we want to paint the exterior of our homes. Strangely enough, they say in Cape Town the best time is during late spring to early autumn, and that's roughly September to May. Now, up on the Highveld in Johannesburg, they say paint between May and September, as during this time paint can dry and cure properly. Remember, temperature affects three things when painting. It affects the adhesion of paint, the drying, and curing of the coating. Paint can go chalky when the paint is exposed to sunlight, heat, and moisture over time, and this is a common defect. Well, I'm rubbing this wall and it's not chalky. But prior to painting, whether the wall's chalky or not, we need to clean the surface. And I'm using Hamilton's Builder's scrubbing brush, which has a synthetic bristle, and it's ideal for scrubbing and cleaning. And I'm using sugar soap, which is a very effective all-purpose cleaner. And it was originally formulated for the painting and decorating trade. And it's a safe cleaner for painted surfaces. Using Hamilton's multi-tool scraper, I love the scraper because it's very sturdy and robust, and it has many other functions, but I'm using it to expose all the problem areas now that I've identified after the clean. And here at the bottom, damp, higher up, I've just got bubbly paint. So once all these areas have been exposed, I need to obviously address them. So the loose bubbly paint, I'm now filling those areas with a ready mixed filler using the multi-tool. And once I've done all of this filling, I let it dry completely according to manufacturer instructions. So all tins, no matter what you're using, whether it be filler, primers, or paint, read the instructions, most important. Now here at the bottom, I'm applying a damp sealer to all the exposed areas, and because this is an outbuilding, I could go and replaster, but I feel for this project really unnecessary. It's not in the public eye, so I'm just giving it a nice coat of a damp sealer at the bottom. But one must always promote water flow away from one's home or building. That prevents rising damp. Okay, the next thing, I've got metalwork attached to this wall, and the metalwork is part of a wash line, and it's been rusting, so I've been addressing that. And then sanding also the window frames. You got to sand your existing window frames just to see that the paint is sound. And now where everything has come loose and rust has been exposed, or you've noticed, you need to primer all those rusted spots before painting can commence. Another reason why I like the multi-tool was its sharp point on the one end. It opens plastic paint cans very easily. Now, using the super value for money Viva paintbrush, it's a synthetic bristle with a plastic handle, and it's ideal for water-based as well as solvent-based paints. And it can be used on many surface textures as smooth, rough or medium. It's just a really good paintbrush at a very reasonable price. So we're doing all the cutting under the eaves. As you saw, we've done around other areas where that roller is not going to get in. Using Hamilton's extension pole and a classic roller, which is a roller ideal for medium to rough surfaces. And this wall, as you can see, the brick profile still shows, so it is a very bumpy wall. But the classic roller with this textured coating I'm using just covers this wall beautifully. Please take note, don't paint when the temperature outside is below 16 degrees. Very important. We have a lot of paint failures when this does happen. And please take note, always paint 2 coats of your coating, at least 4 hours between the coats. Next up, all that metalwork that we primed with the rusted spots, the window frame, I'm now painting that with a high gloss enamel. A gloss enamel is very durable. The reason I'm painting the windowsill as well is going to be so much easier to clean. So a gloss enamel applied on the window frames and the metal wash line. Okay, so what do we require for the painting of exterior walls? Well, let's have a look at this. Some mutton cloth with some solvent if you're working with enamels to clean, or just wet it under the tap. If you're working with water-based paint, just have a clean rag always on standby to clean any messes or spills. And with that goes the drop sheet on the floor. Definitely the blue UV stable masking tape, excellent masking tape. A decent quality brush for the cutting in, of which I used a Viva 75mm, and for oil-based paints I love the fiberglass brush. I used a 19mm to paint the window frames, and then the classic roller, which is a roller for medium to rough surfaces, as the wall I was painting was rough, and that multi-tool, as you saw, useful for many things. And then your extension pole to make rolling easier. So with that, that is what the wall looked like before we started. Remember all the cleaning, the prep, and the filling and the priming and the 2 coats of the enamel and the PVA. And look at that, we've got the perfect finish. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe to our channel.